Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when the universe seems to whisper, this is it. This is your test. It doesn't come with a warning, and it doesn't come at a time of your choosing. It arrives when you are least prepared, when the ground beneath you shakes, when the road ahead vanishes into the unknown. It is in that moment when everything is on the line that the true nature of a person is revealed. Some see it as a curse. They ask, why me? They search for an escape, hoping the storm will pass without leaving its mark. But there are others, those who understand something deeper. They realize that every great soul must be tested, not to break them, but to shape them. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. The tallest trees grow where the winds are the fiercest. And the most extraordinary people are those who, when faced with their greatest test, choose to rise instead of retreat. You see, the final test is never about winning or losing. It's about proving to yourself who you truly are. It's about standing firm when doubt creeps in. It's about pushing forward when your mind tells you to quit. The world doesn't reward excuses, nor does it remember those who gave up. But it does honor those who stood their ground, who fought through pain, who turned their trials into triumphs. If you knew this was your last chance, your final opportunity to prove what you're made of, would you still hesitate? Would you waste time worrying about failures, about what people think, about the comfort of the familiar? Or would you step forward with your head held high, knowing that this moment, this challenge is what will define your story? No one escapes this test, not the rich, not the powerful, not even those who seem to have it all. The only difference is how they face it. Some crumble under its weight. Others embrace it, knowing that the test itself is a gift, a chance to rise beyond who they were yesterday. And so when your time comes, when life places you at the edge of a great trial, remember this: you were born to pass this test. You were built for it. Every experience, every struggle, every lesson you've learned has prepared you for this very moment. Trust that nothing is given to you that you are not strong enough to handle. Trust that the test is not here to stop you, but to awaken the power within you. There comes a moment in life when everything you have known is put to the test. It is not a test written on paper, nor one where the answers are found in books. It is a test that comes in the form of hardship, uncertainty, and the unexpected. No one is exempt. No one can outrun it. It arrives when you least expect it, shaking the foundation beneath your feet, leaving you questioning everything. And in that moment, you are faced with a choice. Will you crumble or will you rise? Most people spend their lives avoiding difficulty, hoping to sail through without facing storms. But what they fail to see is that these challenges are not barriers. They are invitations, calls to step into a version of themselves that they never knew existed. The final test is never meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. It strips away every excuse, every comfort, every illusion of safety, and forces you to confront the truth. The strength you have been searching for has always been within you. It is easy to be confident when life is smooth, easy to believe in yourself when everything is going according to plan. But true character is revealed in the storm. Will you stand firm when the winds rage? Will you push forward when the path is unclear? This is where the extraordinary is separated from the ordinary. The final test is life's way of asking, are you ready? Ready to become something greater, ready to leave behind fear, ready to embrace the challenge with open arms. Some will see it as unfair. They will ask, why me? But the real question is, why not you? The ones who have changed the world, who have left behind legacies, who have risen above mediocrity, were not the ones who ran from their test. They were the ones who looked it in the eye and declared, I am stronger than this. You don't get to choose when your test comes, but you do get to choose how you respond. And in that choice, you will either step into your greatest potential or let fear hold you back. The test is coming. It always does. But if you embrace it, if you recognize it for what it is, a chance to rise, to prove to yourself who you truly are, then you will not only pass, you will emerge transformed. And when you look back, you will realize that the moment you once feared was actually the moment that made you unstoppable. Life has a way of presenting challenges that feel impossible to overcome. In those moments when everything seems to be falling apart, the question arises, why is this happening to me? It is easy to see hardship as a punishment, as if the universe is working against you. But what if instead of a curse, it is a gift? What if the struggle you are facing is not meant to break you, but to build you? The greatest people who ever lived, the ones who changed the world, did not rise because life was easy for them. They rose because they faced adversity and refused to let it defeat them. The obstacles in front of you are not there to stop you, they are there to strengthen you. They are not a sign of failure, but a test of your resilience, your determination, and your will to rise above. Every hardship, every setback, every painful moment is an opportunity, a hidden lesson designed to push you toward your highest potential. Think about it. When does a person truly grow? Not in times of comfort, not when everything is smooth and effortless, but in times of struggle. Strength is not built in ease, it is built in the fire of adversity. Muscles grow when they are torn and rebuilt. Diamonds form under intense pressure, and the strongest souls emerge from the most difficult battles. Without challenges, without hardship, without moments of doubt, there is no transformation. So when life tests you, when you feel like everything is working against you, understand this: you are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being shaped into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who can stand in the face of adversity and not only survive but thrive. What seems like an unbearable struggle today is the very thing that will make you unshakable tomorrow. Every great story has moments of darkness, moments when the hero is tested beyond what seems possible. But that is what makes the story great. That is what makes victory meaningful. If there were no obstacles, there would be no triumph. And so when life places you in the fire, do not ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? Because in that lesson lies your strength, your growth, and ultimately your greatness. Adversity is not the enemy. It is the sculptor that shapes greatness. The strongest steel is not forged in gentle heat. It is formed in the fiercest flames, bent, beaten, reshaped until it becomes unbreakable. The tallest trees do not grow where the wind is calm. They take root in the harshest conditions, their trunks thickened by every storm they withstand. And the most extraordinary people are not those who lived an easy life, but those who faced hardship, struggled through it, and emerged stronger. There's a reason why life does not hand success and strength to everyone. It must be earned. No one becomes a leader, a warrior, or a visionary by walking a smooth road. It is the obstacles, the failures, the moments of doubt that define who you truly are. Every test you face is a chance to prove to yourself that you are greater than your circumstances. It is life's way of asking, how badly do you want this? How much are you willing to endure? Because those who truly desire greatness do not retreat in the face of struggle, they rise. Think of the people who have inspired the world. None of them had an easy journey. They fell, they failed, they faced rejection and loss. But instead of giving up, they used their struggles as fuel. They did not see their challenges as roadblocks, they saw them as stepping stones. Their resilience was not given to them, it was built through every difficulty they overcame. And that same resilience is inside you. Your struggles are not a sign of weakness. They are proof that you're being prepared for something greater. The very thing that seems to be breaking you is actually making you unshakable. The pain, the setbacks, the disappointments, they are not there to stop you. They are there to shape you, to strengthen you, to make you into someone who cannot be defeated. So when life tests you, do not fear the fire. Step into it. Let it refine you. Let it burn away the doubts, the fears, the limitations you once believed in. Because on the other side of that fire is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and ready to take on the world. The storm is not here to destroy you. It is here to make sure you are strong enough to rise above it. The world does not reward those who make excuses. It does not remember those who hesitated, who waited for the perfect moment, who let fear hold them back. The world belongs to those who push forward when everything inside them screams to quit. It honors those who stand tall in the face of adversity, who refuse to surrender, who rise even when the weight of failure tries to drag them down. Excuses are easy. They give a temporary escape, a reason to justify inaction. But they do not change reality. No amount of complaining, no blaming of circumstances, no wishing things were different will ever replace action. Life does not care about why you couldn't do something. It only recognizes those who found a way. Every time you make an excuse, you give away a piece of your power. You allow obstacles to control your destiny instead of taking control yourself. Fear is the greatest thief of potential. It whispers lies, telling you that you are not ready, that you are not good enough, that the risk is too great. And so many people wait. They wait for the fear to disappear, for the conditions to be perfect, for a sign that guarantees success. But the truth is, fear never truly disappears. The strongest people are not those who feel no fear, but those who move forward despite it. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision that something else is more important. Think about the moments in life when you hesitated. The times when you let an opportunity slip because you weren't sure, because you doubted yourself, because you thought failure was too big of a risk. Now ask yourself, what if you had pushed through? What if instead of making an excuse, you had taken that step? What could have been different? The most painful regrets are not from the things we tried and failed, but from the things we never tried at all. No one has ever achieved greatness by standing still. Success does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who move, who take action even when they are uncertain, who refuse to let doubt decide their future. When life tests you, there will always be two options: step forward with courage or step back in fear. Those who make excuses will always have a reason to stay where they are. But those who push through, who take responsibility, who rise even when it is difficult, those are the ones who leave a mark on this world. Life does not reward hesitation. It does not recognize those who stood on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment. It rewards those who dare to step forward when the road is uncertain, when the challenge is immense, when failure seems like a possibility. The greatest rewards belong to those who refuse to back down, who face adversity head on, who rise instead of retreat. In every moment of struggle, there are two choices. One is the easy path, giving up, making excuses, convincing yourself that it wasn't meant to be. The other path is the one less traveled, the path of resilience, of refusing to surrender, of standing your ground even when the world seems to be against you. This is the path that leads to success, to transformation, to greatness, not because it is easy, but because it forces you to become stronger, to become someone capable of achieving what once seemed impossible. Every challenge you face is a test, not to stop you, but to see how badly you want what you are striving for. If success were guaranteed, everyone would achieve it. But the reason few do is because most people turn back when it gets difficult. They let fear, doubt, and temporary discomfort dictate their future. But those who rise, those who keep pushing despite the pain, despite the setbacks, despite the fear, those are the ones who create history. Think about the people who inspire you. They're not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who fought battles no one saw, who endured hardships that would have broken most, who kept going when the world told them to stop. Their victories were not handed to them, they were earned through resilience, through sacrifice, through an unshakable belief that they were meant for something greater. Your struggles are not a punishment. They are an opportunity, invitation to step into your power, to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you ever imagined. The question is not whether life will test you. It always does. The question is, will you rise? Will you stand firm when the storm hits? Will you push forward when the world expects you to quit? The ones who rise, the ones who refuse to retreat, the ones who embrace the challenge instead of running from it, those are the ones who change everything. And the moment you decide that no obstacle, no failure, no setback will define you is the moment you step into your true power. Life will test you in ways you never expected. It will push you to the edge, break your plans, and throw you into storms you never saw coming. In those moments, it is not the test itself that defines you, it is your response. How you react when everything seems to fall apart is what shapes your destiny. Some people let challenges defeat them. They see obstacles as proof that they are not meant to succeed. They allow failure to break their spirit, to weaken their resolve, to convince them that their dreams were never possible. And yet, there are others, those who rise, those who refuse to surrender, those who take every hardship as a stepping stone to something greater. The difference between these two kinds of people is not luck, intelligence, or resources. It is simply a choice to either let circumstances control you or to take control of your circumstances. You cannot choose the tests life throws at you, but you can always choose how you respond. Will you let failure define you, or will you use it to grow? Will you allow pain to break you, or will you turn it into fuel? The world does not remember those who gave up. It remembers those who turned their struggles into a reason to keep going, who stood firm when everything told them to quit, who refused to let a temporary setback become a permanent defeat. Every challenge is a mirror. It reveals who you truly are. When faced with adversity, do you shrink back in fear, or do you rise with determination? When doors close, do you stand outside complaining, or do you find another way in? When everything seems against you, do you let it crush you, or do you fight back harder? The test is not about whether you fall. Everyone falls. The test is about whether you get back up. Greatness is never given, it is earned. And it is earned in the way you respond to life's most difficult moments. Some will let their struggles break them. Others will let their struggles make them. The choice is yours. Your response to the test is what will determine whether you stay where you are or step into the person you were always meant to become. There will be moments in life when everything seems unfair, when no matter how hard you try, the results don't come, when the world seems to conspire against you, and every door you knock on remains closed. In those moments, doubt creeps in. You start questioning yourself, questioning your path, questioning whether all the struggle is even worth it. But here's the truth. Every great success story was once a story of struggle. Every person who achieved something extraordinary had moments when they felt lost, defeated, and uncertain. What separates those who make it from those who don't is simple. They did not stop doubt. They did not let failure convince them that they weren't good enough. They did not let delays make them believe their dreams weren't possible. They understood that the final test is not about how talented or intelligent you are. It is about whether you're willing to endure long enough to win. Most people give up too soon. They stop at the first few failures, never realizing that success was just beyond the next obstacle. They see struggle as a sign to turn back, not understanding the struggle is the very road to greatness. The ones who rise, the ones who leave a mark on this world, are those who refuse to let temporary pain define their future. They push through when others stop. They keep going when others retreat. They understand that the struggle is not the end, it is the process. There is no easy way, no shortcuts, no guarantees. But there is one undeniable truth. If you refuse to quit, if you keep moving forward, no matter how difficult it gets, life will eventually have no choice but to reward you. The test is not there to stop you. It is there to see if you are truly committed. And if you are willing to fight for what you believe in, to push through the storms, to keep standing even when everything tries to knock you down, then nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. The struggle is not your enemy. It is your proving ground. It is the fire that will refine you, the challenge that will shape you, the journey that will transform you. So when life tests you, do not ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, tell yourself, this is making me stronger. Because those who refuse to quit are the ones who rise, and those who rise are the ones who change everything. Time is the most precious resource you have. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. The clock does not stop, does not slow down, does not wait for you to be ready. And yet, most people live as if they have forever, postponing their dreams, delaying their actions, convincing themselves that one day they will finally start living the life they truly want. But one day is not a promise, it is an illusion. The only time you truly own is now. There is no perfect moment to begin. No guarantee that tomorrow will be easier than today. If you keep waiting for everything to be just right, you will wait forever. The greatest people in history did not wait. They did not sit around hoping that someday the conditions would be favorable. They took action when things were uncertain, when the risks were high, when they had every reason to hesitate. They understood that time was not their enemy, it was their greatest opportunity. Every day you hesitate, you are losing something priceless. You are losing moments that could have been spent building, learning, creating, growing. The opportunities you ignore today may not be there tomorrow. The ideas you leave unfinished may never see the light of day. The people you love will not be here forever. This is the reality of life. It moves forward, with or without you. And those who realize this, those who refuse to waste even a second, are the ones who leave a mark on this world. You were not given this life to simply exist, to go through the motions, to survive from one day to the next without purpose. You were given this life to live fully, boldly, unapologetically. The final test is not about whether you had dreams. It is about whether you had the courage to chase them. It is not about whether you had time. It is about whether you used the time you had. If you want something, do not wait. If you have a dream, do not hesitate. If you love someone, do not assume you will always have the chance to tell them. Because every second matters. Every moment is a choice to move forward or to stand still. The clock is ticking, and the question is, what will you do with the time you have left? The world often tells us that we must do things in a certain way, follow the well-worn path, and conform to the expectations of others. It pushes us to think inside the box, to seek approval, stay safe. But those who have changed the world, those who have left a legacy, are not the ones who played it safe. They are the ones who dared to step off the beaten path, to think differently, to challenge the norms and create something entirely new. The greatest inventions, the most revolutionary ideas, the most profound changes in history came from people who did not let fear of failure stop them. They did not allow the voices of doubt or the opinions of others to dictate their actions. They understood that doing things differently was not a weakness, it was their greatest strength. They were not afraid to break the rules, to take risks, to embrace the unknown, because they knew that innovation, real progress, comes only when you step into uncharted territory. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, if you want to leave your mark, you cannot do it by following the crowd. You cannot do it by simply repeating what others have done before. The test is not about how well you can follow. It is about how boldly you can lead. It is about having the courage to create your own path, to trust your instincts, to follow your own vision, even when others don't understand it. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, every time you take a leap of faith, every time you choose to think differently, you are testing yourself. You are proving that you are not bound by the limitations that others impose on you. You are showing the world that you are capable of achieving greatness on your own terms. It's easy to blend in, to conform, to seek approval. But it takes courage, real courage, to stand out, to go against the grain, to be different. And while the world may not always understand or appreciate your vision at first, remember this: the ones who change the world are the ones who are willing to be misunderstood, who are willing to take the risk, who are willing to push the boundaries of what is possible. If you want to live a life that matters, a life that leaves a legacy, you must be willing to do what others won't. You must be willing to take chances, to challenge the status quo, to think differently. Because greatness is not achieved by following the crowd, it is achieved by leading it. And in the end, it is not the people who played it safe who will be remembered, it is those who dared to think, act, and live differently. In the end, the final test from God is not about the circumstances we face, but about how we respond to them. It is about who we choose to become when life throws its hardest challenges at us. Life will not always be easy. It will not always be fair. But it is in those moments of struggle, of pain, of failure, that we find our true strength. We discover what we are really made of not by avoiding obstacles, but by facing them head on, refusing to let them defeat us. The tests will come, no doubt. Some will be big, some will be small, but they will always come. And in those moments, we will be asked one simple question: are you willing to rise, or are you willing to stand up? Dust yourself off and keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. Are you willing to embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty, and the risks, knowing that they are the very things that will shape you into the person you are meant to become? The final test is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about the courage to keep going when the world tells you to stop. It is about trusting in your vision, even when others doubt you. It is about embracing the journey with all its highs and lows, knowing that every step you take, every challenge you overcome, brings you closer to your purpose. The greatest achievements in life are not found by avoiding the storm. They are found by dancing in the rain. They are found by those who refuse to let fear, failure, or delay hold them back. They are found by those who step into the unknown, who trust in themselves and their ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. So when the final test comes, as it inevitably will, remember this: it is not about whether you win or lose in that moment. It is about what you learn, who you become, and how you rise. The world does not remember those who quit when times got tough. It remembers those who kept going, who kept dreaming, who kept believing in themselves and in something bigger than the challenges they faced. You are capable of more than you think. The strength, the resilience, the courage you need is already inside of you. All you have to do is tap into it, never ever give up. Because the final test from God is not about the end, it is about the journey as it becomes along the way and the legacy you leave behind. And that, my friends, is what will define you.